The moment the elderly woman froze in the middle of the restaurant, the entire room seemed to hold its breath. Conversations faded into silence, silverware paused midair, and even the soft background music felt suddenly too loud. Her hand trembled as it hovered inches from the table, her eyes locked on the delicate necklace resting against the young waitress's chest. For a heartbeat, no one understood what was happening. Then, without warning, the billionaire grandmother's face crumpled, tears flooded her eyes, and she did something no one in that elegant dining room ever expected. She reached out and pulled the stunned waitress into a trembling embrace. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the hidden connections that shape our lives, take a moment now to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Stories like this remind us that the past never truly disappears, and sometimes, it comes back to heal us. The restaurant sat high above the city streets of Boston, a polished glass tower filled with quiet luxury and whispered conversations. Margaret Holloway, an 82-year-old business legend known for building an empire from nothing, had arrived for her usual Wednesday lunch. Her presence alone commanded respect. She was dressed elegantly, her silver hair pinned neatly, her posture sharp despite her age. To most, she was a symbol of success and discipline. Few knew the weight she carried behind her composed exterior. Decades earlier, she had lost the one person who mattered more than her fortune, and the wound had never truly healed. Across the room, Serena Brooks moved carefully between tables, balancing trays and soft smiles. At 24, she had learned to carry herself with quiet strength. Life had never been gentle with her. Raised by her grandmother after losing her parents at a young age, Serena worked double shifts to pay for school and keep their small apartment afloat. The necklace she wore every day was the one thing she never removed, a simple silver chain with a small, worn pendant shaped like a star. It had belonged to her grandmother, who had told her it was a symbol of protection, love, and survival. Serena wore it close to her heart, unaware that it carried a story far older than she knew. When Serena approached Margaret's table to take her order, she did so with the same warmth and professionalism she offered every customer. But the moment she leaned forward, the pendant slipped from beneath her uniform and caught the light. Margaret's eyes widened instantly. Her breathing faltered. The room around her faded away as memories rushed back with overwhelming force. She recognized that necklace. She had not just seen one like it, she had given it away more than 60 years ago to a frightened young woman on a rainy night, a woman she had promised to help but never found again. Margaret's heart pounded as she stared at the pendant, her hands shaking uncontrollably. She asked the waitress to come closer, her voice barely steady. Serena, confused and slightly alarmed, obeyed. That was when Margaret saw the small engraving on the back of the pendant, worn but still visible. It was the same inscription she had carved herself as a young woman, a promise she made during one of the hardest nights of her life. The realization hit her with full force. The waitress standing before her was connected to the child of the woman she had failed to protect all those years ago. Tears streamed down Margaret's face as decades of guilt, regret, and unanswered questions crashed over her. She stood up slowly, ignoring the stares around her, and wrapped Serena in a hug filled with trembling emotion. Serena froze at first, unsure how to react, but she felt the raw sincerity in the woman's embrace. It was not pity. It was grief, recognition, and something deeper, relief. The story unraveled quietly after that. Margaret explained how, as a young entrepreneur, she had met a struggling woman who was pregnant and alone. She had given her the necklace as a symbol of hope and promise to return with help. But life, ambition, and fear had pulled her away. She searched later, but the woman was gone. For decades, Margaret carried the weight of that failure, wondering what became of her and the child she never met. Now, standing in front of Serena, she realized that life had come full circle in the most unexpected way. Serena listened in stunned silence as the truth unfolded. The grandmother who raised her had rarely spoken of her past, only that a stranger once showed her kindness when she needed it most. That necklace had been passed down with a story of resilience and survival, never revealing its full origin. In that moment, Serena understood that her grandmother's strength had been shaped by an act of compassion that had rippled across generations. From that day forward, everything changed. Margaret didn't just offer financial help, she offered guidance, support, and a genuine connection that had been missing for decades. Serena, in turn, found a sense of belonging she never knew she was searching for. Two lives, separated by time and circumstance, finally found closure in a place neither of them expected. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, share, and engage with this video so others can feel its message too. Your support helps stories like this reach those who need them most. Before the ending, here's a special request. Comment below what you believe the necklace symbolized in this story: hope, fate, or forgiveness. Your thoughts matter. As Margaret left the restaurant that day, her steps felt lighter than they had in years. She had spent a lifetime building wealth, but it was a simple necklace and an unexpected reunion that finally brought her peace. And as Serena watched her go, fingers resting gently on the pendant, she understood something powerful: that love never truly disappears, and sometimes, the past returns not to haunt us, but to heal us in ways we never imagined.